every 20 minutes. It's your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Hi, I'm meteorologist James McCombs with your mid-morning Alabama forecast. So looking across the state, lots of showers and thunderstorms out there this morning, similar to yesterday morning, and there's been some heavy rain in spots for sure down in the southwestern portion of the state in Baldwin County, and then we've got a flash flood warning up in the northeast in Jackson County right now and a flood watch as well. So again, heavy rain the story in a lot of spots with this tropical moisture in place. Looking down to the coastal part of the state, again, we have mostly just showers around at this point in Baldwin County, but a couple of hours ago had very heavy storms moving through that had really heavy rain rates, and that's why those places saw rain totals over 6 inches in many spots are being estimated. So we got 6.5 inch estimate there between Point Clear and Fairhope, 6.6, 5.3. So again, over 6 inches in many spots, and a larger swath getting even 2, 3, 4 inches of rain moving over towards Loxley, Robertsdale, and Somerdale. So lots of rain in this area in a very small area, and that's why there was a flash flood warning in effect, but that has since expired. But any more rain that falls in that area, it's saturated, so you want to be certainly keeping an eye on things if you are living in the Eastern Shore area. Looking up towards the north, still some scattered showers, a heavier cell moving through Luverne at this point, moving up towards the north. As we continue to jog further to the north, in between Montgomery and Birmingham along 65 around Clanton, you've got a decent line of heavier showers that has moved across the interstate and started to kind of move to the east of that. So again, if you're driving in that area, you want to slow it down and take it easy. Heavier shower up along I-22, kind of getting close to Jasper, starting to weaken a little bit now. It's also a few showers up in between Hartselle and Coleman, but this is really where the heaviest rain in the state is right now. Got the flash flood warning here in this kind of a bluish looking polygon, and then you can see a lot of that starting to kind of dive down towards the south. So there's some now in southeastern Madison County, heavier storms moving through Scottsboro and Hollywood have moved through Stevenson, and it may start to get into Cobb County here in the next 30 minutes or so. And again, so heavy rain in all of these areas. You want to take it easy and not be crossing any flooded roadways for sure with these really heavy rain rates out there. So that flash flood warning has been extended, so that it now expires at noon, was originally until 10 o'clock this morning. And then a large chunk of the rest of North Alabama is under a flood watch until 7 p.m. tonight. So anywhere in this part of the state, you need to be just aware of that, aware that the possibility of heavy rain is there. So certainly be keeping an eye on that and staying with us, and we'll keep you updated on that for sure. Flash flood risk across the entire state is marginal for today, but as we've seen already, there's been flash flood warnings in a couple different places. So in those isolated areas that get really heavy rain, there is the possibility for some localized flash flooding. So again, that's why we've got that risk. So something just to keep an eye on with this tropical moisture in place. And looking across our SkyCam network, Ardmore, there's rain in the area. See a few sprinkles around. Still have some raindrops there on the camera in the 70s. Dozier looking pretty nice right now. And actually, you're looking towards the storm that just moved over the camera in the last 30 minutes or so and is moving away. So you've got some rising steam and fog there where that storm just left. And then as we move further down to the south to Spanish Fort, so again, we've got raindrops on the lens here as well. Starting to see some peaks of sunshine there, some blue skies, but also plenty of clouds, and still I think some leftover raindrops. So that's kind of the story across a lot of the area today. And the story will be that continued rain chances today, a good bit of Thursday as well, but showers starting to thin out, especially on Friday. Low 90s as far as the temperatures by the weekend. So we're getting closer to normal for temperatures as we get into the weekend. And then we'll be talking more about Tropical Storm Erin here in a little bit. Temperatures right now across the state, upper 70s, low 80s. I think, again, most places are going to struggle to reach 90 degrees today with the rain and the cloud cover around. And speaking of the cloud cover, you can see that here. This is the tropical disturbance that was in the northern Gulf over the last day or so. It has now started to move inland, and that's where those really heavy rain showers have originated from, especially in the southwestern part of the state, and even up to the northeast where we've got the heavy rain now. I'd say this is all kind of related to each other, especially considering the tropical air mass that's being pulled in with this tropical disturbance. Futurecast continuing to illustrate what we're expecting with this. So this is the disturbance right here with heavy rain and thunderstorms embedded, expecting to maybe fire back up this afternoon. Again, the radar will not look exactly like this, but this just illustrates the point that heavy rain is possible in a fairly widespread part of the state as we get in the afternoon and start to see the instability ramp up again. But then things will quiet down overnight before we see another round of storms as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Probably not as widespread, but still heavy rain possible in spots. Then as we get into Friday and into the weekend, that's where we expect things to start to calm down a little bit, although getting warmer. All right, watching the tropics. So Tropical Storm Erin, we just got the 10 a.m. advisory out. No real change, though, as far as the sustained winds at 45 miles per hour and also the pressure. Satellite presentation has improved a little bit over the last 24 hours, so looking a little bit healthier as it moves to the west, and it will start to get into more conducive conditions as we get into the next couple of days. And we do expect, the Hurricane Center expects, that it will be a hurricane by Friday morning. And then as we get into Sunday and into early Monday, we're expected to have a category 3 hurricane north of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola and moving off towards the northwest. Now, you can see here, though, that the cone is starting to curve, and that's what all the models are still showing, is that this will eventually turn to the north into the northeast and curve away from the East Coast. So that's the expectation at this point, is that we won't have direct impact with the U.S. East Coast, although there will be some heavy swells and things of that nature. All right, your 7-day forecast across North Alabama, mid to upper 80s as far as the highs for the next couple of days, and then we get into the 90s as we go through the weekend. We've got the rain chances on the decrease after the next couple of days, and the same thing can be said for South Alabama. So we've got, again, upper 80s to around 90 degrees over the next couple of days, and then we'll see those temperatures on the increase and the precipitation chances on the decrease as we head into the weekend and next week. Well, that's it for your statewide forecast. We'll have another one coming up later on.